Member for Abbotsford South.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. When I rose and spoke in this chamber about how staff at a few weeks ago, about how staff at a local businesses in my riding of Abbotsford South are scared to go to work as they face thefts, threats, fear of attacks with weapons, I spoke about a local shop owner that has to deal with constant theft, smashed windows, fires, and the cleaning of human feces, urine, and needles. Let me remind members of this House that stories like this are not unique to Abbotsford. We are hearing about it from every corner in BC. Continuing with the same attitude towards crime, the so-called catch and release system has led to an unprecedented drop in public safety. The levels province-wide, leaving communities across British Columbia, they're in fear and small businesses are suffering. A jewelry store in Victoria was robbed in broad daylight by a hammer-wielding intruder. A shooter in New West shot at a group of people in the middle of a downtown core. And I can keep going. What has happened to our province? Honourable Speaker, these are examples from just the last week alone. People's safety is clearly at risk. And unfortunately, the government risks eroding people's trust in its ability to protect law-abiding British Columbians. The backbones of our communities, small businesses, are caught in the middle of this mayhem. Small businesses have been paying the price for the lack of public safety as they deal with the impacts of crime and vandalism. The Business Improvement Association of British Columbia surveyed 500 small businesses from across the province to find out how long they can continue to operate under these conditions. And almost half, a staggering 48%, indicated that they would be forced to shut down sometime within the next couple of years at this rate. This legislature, all of the members in this House, should not be proud of this damning statistic. Small businesses drive local revenue, provide good jobs for community members, and contribute significantly to our provincial economy. In the city of Vancouver alone, the Vancouver Economic Commission estimates that about 60,000 jobs are generated by businesses with a storefront. Yet areas like Hastings Crossing and neighbourhoods like Chinatown face some of the highest storefront vacancy rates at a staggering 28% and 16.8% respectively. 1 in 10 storefronts in Vancouver's high streets are vacant. Small businesses can barely keep up with the rising costs due to inflationary measures, yet are now forced to pay the price for a system that has put the rights of repeat violent offenders before law-abiding people and businesses. We need to do better to protect small businesses that keep our communities thriving, which is why the official opposition has come out in support of a province-wide grant program as proposed by the BC Improvement Association, or the Business Improvement Association of BC, to help cover vandalism repairs and security upgrades for small businesses. I'll give you a quote. Businesses require immediate relief and funding for anti-vandalism programs aimed at enhancing business security and/or mitigating the impacts of crime is a needed next step, says Terry Smith, the president of the BIABC. At this rate, small businesses end up spending more time dealing with vandalism, break-ins, and thefts instead of focusing on growing their businesses and supporting their staff. Staff are frightened to go to work because they don't know if they will be the next victim. I am heartbroken and tired of hearing from businesses in my community that are struggling to get by. Over a month-long ongoing transit strike in the Fraser Valley is stopping workers and customers from getting to where they need to go. Increased business costs due to the inflation and interest rates, and now rampant crime is just making matters worse, Mr. Speaker. This should be troubling to the ears of government. It is our job to keep our people safe. The idea that hundreds and potentially thousands of businesses could close their doors in the next 2 years is a major concern for our economy. The health of our communities and the livelihoods of the well-being of all British Columbians. Grants such as the one proposed by the official opposition are critical
It's
to helping
private members'
stop
time.
the damage that is being done to give businesses a fighting chance at survival. Honourable Speaker, it is time for the government to end the catch and release justice system, keep our communities safe.
Member, it's private members' time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and
so if you'll
ensure that small
adjust your remarks
businesses
accordingly.
are
Thank you.
safe, that small businesses can thrive, and they're not being forced to pay the price for our inaction. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.